Um, but yeah, let's start talking about these questions. And would anyone like to share what they got for the first problem? Jasper says C. Sean says C. Okay, Lois says C. That's absolutely correct. It's pretty simple and easy. You obviously just multiply these two numbers and see which one equals 36 and which one doesn't. And you'll notice that if you multiply 1/2 by -72, you would get -36, which is not quite equal to 36. So that is correct. All right, let's look at the second question. Oh no. Okay, so when the fraction 49/84 is expressed in its simplest form, then the sum of the denominator and the numerator will be what? A 11, B 17, C 19, D 33, E 133. What do we think? Did anyone solve this question? Okay, Sean says C. Sean, would you like to explain how you got that answer? You can feel free to unmute.
Uh, well, I just divided both by 7. And 49 divided by 7 is 7. 84 divided by 7 is 12. 12 plus 7 is 19.
That's right. Good job. Exactly, because if you notice that both 49 and 84 is divisible by 7, you can divide both sides by 7 to get 7/12. And obviously 7 and 12 are relatively prime, which means you cannot simplify them any further. If you add them, you would get 19, which is C. So Sean, you're correct. Great job. All right, the third question. Which of the following numbers has the largest prime factor? 39, 51, 77, 91, and 121. What do we think? Which number has the largest prime factor? Bella and Joyce, what do you guys think? Did you guys solve this question? Jasper. Okay, Sean says B. Okay. Well, we can solve this question by simply looking at the composition of the numbers, right? We can factor them and then we can compare which one has the largest prime factor. So the way, oh shoot, my bad. I just accidentally exited the annotations. Yeah, but for this question, you really just have to simplify and factor the numbers, which means that for A, 39, you would write it as 3 times 33, right? And 33 is obviously a prime factor. So we can circle that and keep in mind of that. 51 is equal to 3 times 17. So I can circle 17 because 17 is prime and it's obviously greater than 3. Yes, Jasper, it was that easy. 7 times 11. 11 is the greatest. 91 is equal to what? 7 times 13. So 13 is the greatest. 121 is equal to 11 times 11. So 11 squared. So 11 is the greatest. Now, if you compare these, we have 11, 13, and 17. Obviously, 17 is the greatest, which means that the answer would be B, 51. Yep, the answer was B. So Sean was correct. Good job. Are there any questions on this problem? No? Okay. All right, let's look at question 4. What do we get for this problem? Well, it'd be good if you don't guess and actually try these, but are there any other guesses? Okay, I'm assuming that we're a little stumped. Yeah, A does look promising, but unfortunately, it's not the answer. Here, I'll show you guys how we can solve this question. You might look at this expression and say, oh God, it's so complicated. But if you think about it, multiplying by 10 is really just shifting a decimal point, right? So let's just write this expression as this. 1993 times 0.10 shoot 0.1993 times 10,000, right? Because 1,000 times 10 is 10,000. So we can write it as this. Then, if you multiply 0.993 times 10,000, you would move the decimal point 4 places to the right, right? Because there are 4 zeros here. So you'll move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the left. So you get 1993 times 1993, which is just 1993 squared. So the answer is E. Yes, Sean, that is correct. It is E. Yeah, so this question might look a little bit daunting and intimidating at first, but really, you just have to simplify it down to the fundamentals. And in this case, it's really just moving a decimal point, right? So it's actually a really simple and easy problem. Are there any questions on this before we move on? No? All right, let's move on to the next question. I actually didn't give you time to solve this question because I wanted to see if you can solve this like on point. So yeah, take a look at this one and it should take you only like 10 seconds to solve it, but okay, Sean says C. And Joyce also says C, and that's exactly correct because if you look at this pie chart here, you can see that black and gray is exactly 1/2 of white, right? The white part occurs in half the circle, and the black and gray each occurs in 1/4. So that means, right, exactly. You can just look at it visually, and it's obviously C. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. This is easy. And now here's another group of 4 questions. I'm gonna give you guys like 8 or 10 minutes to solve it. And as usual, let me know if you have any questions about any of these or if you want a hint, right? Because if you're stuck, don't just sit there, ask for help. Everyone, how are we doing? Are we mostly done, or do we need some extra time? Do we need 1 more minute, 2 more minutes? All right, looks like most of us are pretty much done. So I'm gonna look at problem 8, and what answer did we get for this question? Okay, so Jasper started a new thread and said B. Sean said B. How did you start that thread? Um, but anyways, the answer is B. That's correct. Jasper, would you like to explain how you solved this question? You can feel free to unmute. Okay, it's okay. Here's how I. Oh, he's typing. So Jasper says 3 times 5 equals 15 for 5 cans. Then, then 5 times 5 equals 25. If 15 are feeded, that means 6. Okay, I can see where you're going with this, but we can refine this logic a little bit. So here's how I would solve this question, right? Since 15 children are fed, that's going to take up 3 cans of soup, right? Because 15 divided by 5 equals 3 cans. You have a total of 5 cans, so you have 2 remaining cans. Agreed? But it's asking you how much adults can you feed with these 2 cans. So that means you do 2 times 3, which gives you 6. So the answer is B. Does this make sense? Are there any questions about this problem? No? Okay, great. Let's look at problem 9. I mean, no, sorry, 7. And how did people solve this question? I received some DMs, and it seems that some individuals are struggling a bit with this question. What do we get for the answer? C, B, A. Okay. This question might look a little bit confusing because of adding the exponents, but the way I would solve this question is really to just factor it, right? Because I mean, think about it in terms of the way addition works, right? Because if you have three copies of 3 to the third added together, that's really saying that 3 times 3 to the third, right? Because if you have apple plus apple plus apple, that's really 3 times apple, right? So this expression here is really equal to this. But if you remember the way exponentiation works, 3 to the third really just means 3 times 3 times 3, right? So that means this expression here is really saying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. But then you have 3 times itself by 4 times. So that's simply 3 to the fourth power. Therefore, the answer is A. If you got this answer, congratulations. Are there any questions about this problem? Okay, I think we're good. Really just remember that this problem is a play on exponentiation, right? It looks like you're adding really big numbers, but in reality, you just have to think about it as a multiplication problem, and you'll see that's really just 3 times 3 to the third, so it's 3 to the fourth. Hopefully pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at problem 8. To control her blood pressure, Jill's grandmother takes 1/2 of a pill every other day. If one supply of medicine contains 60 pills, then a supply of medicine would last approximately how long? What did we get for this question? Sean says B, Jasper says question mark B. What do everyone else think? Bella, what answer did you get? Joyce, what about you? What did you think of this question? Joyce is B. Okay. Bella says B. Okay. Well, let's hear some ideas first. Can someone who said B please explain to us how you got this answer? Could be anyone, Bella or Jasper or Joyce. I want to hear your thought process. How did you solve this question? How did you get the answer B? You can feel free to type, but I would really prefer if you can just unmute, right? It'll be a lot faster. Okay, Jasper says 120 over 7 around 7, 17 over 4 around 4. Okay. Oh, wait. 2 times 60 is equal to 120, so 120 over 30 is equal to 4. There we go. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, B is actually not the answer, right? Because if you look at the question, note what it says, right? It says Jill's grandmother takes 1/2 of a pill every other day. So every 2 days, she takes half of a pill, right? For every 2 days, she takes half of a pill for every 2 days. So that means she takes one pill for every 4 days. So one singular pill would last her 4 days, meaning that if she has 60 pills, she can last 60 times 4 days equals 240. Sorry, not 120. 240 days. And if you divide that by 30, you would get 8 months. So the answer should be D. That's right. It's like a play on 2 and 1/2, and you really have to be careful. I'm sure you guys all knew how to solve this, but you just really have to be careful because the AMC can be a little tricky and mischievous sometimes. So just pay attention. But otherwise, are there any questions about this problem? Any comments? Confusion? No? Okay. Let's take a look at the next question. Consider the operation asterisk defined by the following table. For example, 3 asterisk 2 equals 1. Then parentheses 2 asterisk 4 in parentheses asterisk parentheses 1 asterisk 3 in parentheses equals what? Sean says D. Bella, what do you think? What did you get? Joyce, what about you? What was your answer? Were you guys able to solve this question? Okay, I think a lot of people are saying D. Bella, how did you get the answer D? Would you like to explain your thought process? Okay. Well, Lua gave me his thought process. Um, right. I think for this question, it's really just going off the charts, right? Because if you look at the chart, you can see that in the example they gave you, 3 asterisk 2 gives you 1, right? You just look at the chart. So that means if you look at the parentheses, you first look at 2 asterisk 4, right? 2 asterisk 4 is here, here. So it gives you 3. The 2 asterisk 4 is equal to 3. Now, if you look at 1 asterisk 3, you'll see that 1 asterisk 3 is right here. So it's also equal to 3. So this question simplifies to what is 3 asterisk 3? Well, then if you just look at the chart, you'll see that if you follow the asterisks, 3 and 3 gives you 4. So it's equal to 4, and the answer is D. Like, it should be pretty simple, but yeah. Are there any questions? It's just really following the chart. Yes, good job, John. All right. So you guys didn't solve this question, but again, first of all, diagram is really big, so I couldn't put it on the screen. But also take a look at this question. I'll give you like 1 or 2 minutes, think about it, and let's just go directly into it. So take a look. Feel free to shout out the answer when you're done. I'll wait for a couple more ideas. Okay, I'm getting a lot of marches, and honestly, I think that is the right answer because if you think about a price drop, what you want to look at is the slope, right? Like how much did it drop in 1 month? And if you look at June, you'll see that in the course of 1 month, it dropped by 2, right? Because it went from this point to this point. But if you look at March, you'll see that it actually dropped more than 2, right? Because it started at 4, but then it ended up somewhere below 2, like 1.5-ish. So that's a difference of 2.5. So March is actually the month that experienced the greatest drop. So yes, the answer would be March. Any questions? I mean, hopefully this is a pretty straightforward question. All right. Another one of those. Problem 11. Consider this histogram of the scores for 81 students taking a test. So this is the diagram. And the problem wants you to see what the median is, right? The median is in the interval labeled what? So I guess take a look, and I'll give you 2 minutes to think about it. And oh, okay, Jasper forgot to do the median. Basically, the median is if you have a set of numbers like 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 91, 1,000. The median would be the number in the exact middle, right? So if you count off 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, you can see that 5 is the number in the exact middle, right? It has 3 numbers before and 3 numbers after it. So in this case, 5 would be the median. Hopefully that helps. I'm going to leave that up there so you can reference it. Right, it should be a pretty easy question. Okay, I'm getting 70 and C. Are there any other ideas? Okay, I think most people are getting C, and that's exactly right. Because if you just look at this diagram and just count, you'll see that 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 10 plus 42, sorry, plus 14 is equal to 42, right? If you just take this giant section, that gives you 42. So you have 42 entries and you have 81 total entries. So that means the median is somewhere in this, right? So the answer is C. Hopefully pretty straightforward. Are there any questions about this problem? Any concerns? No? All right, then. Let's go on to our final set of questions. Um, it's only 3 problems, and we're almost done. So I'm gonna give you 5 minutes, okay? But again, ask for help if you need so. Like, I'll give you a hint. Don't sit there being stuck. Okay, guys, let's start talking so we can get this over with. Right, so number 12. It's a pretty creative problem, actually, out of all the ones we solved, because it does require a little bit of experimentation. Um, did anyone solve this question? Anyone? Okay, I guess we're a little stuck. That's okay. I mean, in this scenario, there's really so many possibilities, right? Because they gave you three signs and three places to put them. So if you know a bit of combinatorics, you'll know that there's actually six total possibilities. But even if you don't know that and you just try it out, it's actually really simple, right? So I'm just gonna give you the answer because hopefully you can see how easy this is, right? This will equal to 5 minus 4 plus 18, which is 1 plus 18, which is 19. Simple and easy, isn't it? Okay, hopefully this isn't too hard. Are there any questions on this? Or maybe like general strategy questions? Okay. Let's take a look at question 12. The word help in block letters is painted in black with strokes 1 unit wide on the 5 by 15 rectangular white design with dimensions as shown. The area of the white portion of the sign in square units is what? Did anyone solve this question? Okay, I'm just gonna go over them then. In this case, I'll just count the letters, right? Just count the squares. Let's go letter by letter. How many squares are in the letter H? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. How many are in the letter E? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 again. For that letter L, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Letter P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. So if you add these all up, right, Jasper, there's really no faster way to solve this question because these letters are pretty random and it's hard to count. But hopefully counting isn't too hard for anyone in this class. So um if you count this correctly, you should get 22 plus 7 plus 10, which is 39. So if you subtract 39 from 5 times 15, you should get 75 minus 39, which is 36. So D. The answer is D. All right. Okay. Let's look at the final question. The 9 squares in the table shown are to be filled so that every row and every column contains each of the numbers 1, 2, 3. Then A plus B equals what? This question is actually pretty fun because it's like a Sudoku puzzle. Um, for this question, why don't you guys go ahead and annotate and just see if you can fill this out. I want to see what your solutions are. So you can just draw numbers on the screen and test what works and what doesn't work. Go ahead. Okay. Well, it looks like we pretty much got it, right? And Yes, that's correct. And the way you could go about this is that you would see that, oh, here's a 1, here's a 2. So this part would have to be 3, right? Because it can't be anything else. Therefore, this is 1, and thus this is 3, and this is 2. Then you can deduce that this is 2, meaning that this is 1 and this is 3. So you add these together, it gives you 4. So the answer would be C. It's pretty fun. It's like a Sudoku puzzle. All right, well, if there aren't any questions, this is the end of the class. So yeah, thank you for coming, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.